I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is
the Family Showdown!
What is that face?
I win the quiet game.
The late night version of our show.
We're on like chill time. Are we just not American? We're like on time, on schmime, whatever. Meh, you know.
All right.
Quiet though.
So
I totally won the quiet game.
Tonight, speaking of quiet game, I got a story, but we'll get to that in a second.
Ooh! I love stories.
So, to explain this list, this is games you can play silently or mostly silently.
Oh yeah, this will be good.
So, this is a bit of a troll list from our viewers. So last episode, the one preceding this one, we had some sound issues.
I don't know what you're talking about. We never have issues.
We basically, I had a new computer to run all our streaming stuff, and I forgot to load the mic onto one of our segments. So we went through like 5 minutes of the segment, and we didn't even know the mics were off. And
it was cool.
And so I think we fixed that and moved on, and we got to the end of the episode, and everybody was giving top 10 suggestions. Someone suggested top 10 games you can play silently. And as a troll, I think, of our...
Of course it was, I think.
I'm trying to be nice.
Whatever, we know the chat. We know you people.
So...
We know you guys. So... We totally were like...
We went with it, because I came up with a saying. Now, I may have heard this somewhere, but I'm going to call this a Hunterism, even though I may have read it somewhere.
Okay.
If you laugh at yourself the loudest, you can't hear other people laughing at you.
I like that. It's very similar to others I've heard, so...
So anyway, we're going to go with it. But I considered making my entire list a troll and putting things like The Quiet Game, Tic-Tac-Toe.
I was wondering if you were going to do that.
Scissors.
I was wondering if you were going to do that. See, I took it pretty seriously. What was hard for me is that a lot of fuzziness. Is my shirt too high open?
No, you look fine. I don't know what's going on.
Who knows?
I swear our sounds are messed up. People say our sound's great. So you're popping in and out.
That's weird. No, it's topping out, it says. Like, mine's crazy high again.
Well, I mean...
Hunter's going to do his tech wizardry while I talk.
I'll lower the volume again.
Sarah says laugh instead of scream.
So we basically...
But no, when I was making my list, to get back on topic here, when I was making my list, I was overwhelmed by how many games you could pull off playing silently. So I tried to pick a broad... I say a broad variety. I feel like they're not that broad, though. I don't know. I tried to pick a variety of different types of games that I think you could totally pull off playing. And some of them I know because we've played them mostly silently anyway, or while we're talking about completely different things, which to me, you could just then cut the sound, right? So, I don't know.
So how far did you go with this? For example...
Oh, gosh.
If you have to roll a die, that's going to make noise.
Oh, I just did no verbalizations. I did know you don't make the sound.
Extreme with mine.
Did you? I just went that that was probably what took the longest, was to determine how far to go with the silently part. And because I revamped this list so many times because of that, because I did go trollish a little bit at first, then I was like, nah, you get crazy at me. And then I was like, well, like you said, nothing, no sound, then I'm like, okay, no, that's not fun.
Most of mine are no sound. I backed off.
I did no solo games, though.
I did.
Did you really? You troll. You troll.
I did troll some, but anyway. Anyway, no, I don't know if I did any solo games, honestly.
Yeah, no ug tech.
What I did do is when I originally made my list, I ended up with like 8 abstract strategy games. And I'm like, that's kind of boring. So I got rid of about half of those and put other things in.
Well, and as I got to thinking, and you'll see as we talk about the list, and I think the chat will possibly agree, or maybe you guys will just be like, you're insane. I felt like there's some entire categories of games that you could play silently, technically.
And I had to augment some games where you had to do something silent that you wouldn't normally do silent.
I'm really intrigued about your list now. I feel like mine's a very shallow version of what yours is now.
All right, so...
This will be fun. I'm curious. I hope you guys made some lists, too.
Before we start, I did build the entire top 10 program this afternoon, so hopefully it's all built correctly.
Oh, this will be exciting, guys. Do you
But
have that technical difficulties button
I
ready?
do have the technical
good,
difficulties
okay,
button ready. But I did build it in such a way either one of us can go first. So I got Bim Bam Bum Bam is first. So if you know what Bim Bum Bam is,
Stupid.
It's a dumb way to pick a start player, and we're going to do it.
Oh my gosh, half the time they don't even apply. We're like,
Well, if we get one that doesn't apply, we'll pick a different one.
okay.
All right, here we go.
All right, this is
Big
good.
Bam Bum. Here we go. All right, so you cut the deck. We'll
Yeah, Coralie, that was my thought indeed.
Here we go. Who's read Lord of the Rings more times?
Probably you.
I go
Probably you.
Let's say the winner gets to pick who goes first, and you'll go first because you haven't gone first in a long, long time.
It has been over 2 years.
So
Wow.
we're gonna pick who goes first
It's
every
the
time
end
now.
of the world as we. Oh, okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
I am.
All right, here we go.
Put it up quietly.
That's not quiet.
Number 10.
You have to say what
I am going to put it up.
You have to say what it is.
No, put it up.
No, we're not.
You're killing me. I wanted it to pop up first, and then I'll talk about it. You dork. Okay, so
She called me a dork.
I did Rake Holt. Think about it. Think about
You
it.
can do almost any Euro game style.
That was my point. Now, not true, because I did think about it a little bit. And I was like, what about like, my brain, the really big Civ game. I was thinking about that. But attacking is, you really need to communicate while you're attacking and stuff. So it's got to be games like this where there's not.
That's not a Euro game if you're attacking.
Okay, we're not going to go into that. We're not doing silent games, okay? So, like, Julio. Well, maybe you shouldn't play the silent and put Julio to sleep.
You smack on Twitter today.
I know, man. I have to go back there and, yeah. So anyway, but Ray Cole, I mean, you see what everyone's doing while they're doing it. And so the only time it's a little bit tricky is if, like, you do something at the very end like I did, though I had to do something really specialized. I had to kind of show you what I was doing so you didn't think I was just making something up. But, meh. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know if I put any Euro games on my list.
see, and I was thinking about a ton of Euro games, and I was like, how you could do so many. So many. I don't know. That was my thought. So I'm curious what you guys think about that, because really and truly, I mean, we're talking about other stuff, we're doing stuff, and we're like, I move up here. I mean, granted, in a lot of Euro games, just so that for ease of purpose, people aren't paying attention and whatnot. I mean, I talk through my turns, just straight up. So I talk through my turns. And we typically do. It just makes it easier or whatever. So you just don't.
A lot of Euro games
see it
can be
all.
played silently.
Yeah, you see all of them. So anyway, we played it recently, so I thought, you know what? I'm putting it on the list.
All right.
So there, Julio.
My number 10 is, let's
Okay.
find out what it is.
Okay.
Soro. Soro, you do want to talk smack in Soro, but you don't need to talk smack.
Don't need to. In our household, it's a requirement. So this makes that very difficult to pull off silently. But yes.
So, like I said, I had almost all abstract strategy games. I kept a handful. This is one of the ones I kept. This one, you're just placing a tile and you're moving a little figure along the tile. And if you ever run into another person's figure, or go off the board, you lose. And that's the whole game. It's kind of those games. You see a lot of like game shows on TVs where you're doing the space is closing in, you're eliminating area, and eventually you kill each other.
Yeah, it's kind of the same deal,
It's
right?
the same kind of
that's true.
Same kind of process.
That's true. I mean, my vegetable garden, walking across the it looks like to me you're walking across the top of the tables. It looks like you're just having a crazy fiesta in Ray Colt's.
It's tourism. You're feeding the tourists.
I know, and I know, but it looks like you're stomping on the top of the table.
Buffet table.
Exactly.
Something, I don't know.
But then Suro, you're like you said, it's almost got that game showy kind of.
But
feel to
it
It's
almost
just,
lends itself to the quiet and easy.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's very chill. It's very casual. Yeah. Totally.
All right.
You shouldn't have to communicate at all during that one.
Let's move on.
All right. My number 9. Pop it up.
Number 9.
Jumping the gun there. You got to go to the cutscene. I built these cutscenes. It took hours.
I'm not used to going first.
You ready?
Yeah, totally. I was born ready. Put it up there.
That's mine. Oops.
What?
Oops. I'm used to me
That
going
wasn't
first.
mine. Okay.
Spoilers.
You ever sat and listened to the trees growing in a forest?
I didn't think of this one. This is a good one.
But think about it, because it's very straightforward what you do for your turns. So it's not like there's anything complicated that, you have to be like, well, you guys, I had to do this and this and this to get this. There really isn't anything like that in photosynthesis. Plus, it's pretty little, quiet, happy little trees. And you're just, it's cutthroat.
Funny, you went very Euro-y with yours, and I went very abstract. I guess
it popped off is like just like the light bulb went off.
But that's
it's abstract, but it's very cutthroat. If you think about it, I don't know that this is Euro-y. This is a cutthroat game. I'm just saying.
There's some area control issues.
But you're growing your trees, and then you decide when to harvest them to your best advantage. And as the sun's rotating around, the sunlight, your trees at the different heights are going to block other trees and whatnot. And they grow in a set pattern. There's no exceptions to the rules, anything like that would cause an issue, so there's no reason to communicate.
The only issue I see with Euro games is it may be a little hard to follow what the other person's doing.
Well, you got to pay attention.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, no, they don't know what you're doing unless you're really watching like every little move.
Well, I was just thinking too, maybe just teachery thing, but I would be like, point to the rule, do my thing, point what I'm doing.
Oh, you're saying if you had to be silent?
Yeah, if I had to be, I would walk through it.
Okay.
Need I say more?
All right, my number 9, which you may have already seen if you have quick eye.
Oh.
Is Happy Salmon.
Wait, what? That would be so. They've played it silently, haven't they?
Yes, it is
insane.
It's very stark when you see someone play it quietly. So if you know, Happy Salmon is a screaming, insane, yelling, screaming,
loud.
like they hear you across the convention hall playing this game. But when they do the silent version, it's almost shocking how quiet it is. There's not a sound.
You're right, because you're just walking up to people to do the thing, or like.
You're not even supposed to slap hands. You just show what you're doing, and then you throw your card down. And
really?
Like if you do, you're doing basically you have a deck of cards. You know what Happy Salmon is. You have a deck of cards that has different things you do. Like you do a high five, or you do a fist bump, or you slap hands, or you switch places and thing. And you're yelling and screaming until you see someone that's doing what you're doing. But in the silent version, all you do is you hold your fist up if you're doing a fist bump, you do this if you're doing a high five, you do this if you're doing Happy Salmon, and you do this if you want to switch places. And you just make eye contact and you do that thing, and you throw your card down, and you're going through your entire deck. And it is so stark, the difference, when you see them playing it quietly. It's insane.
I thought they still moved around. They don't.
Huh?
They don't run around and switch places.
They do switch places,
okay.
but they don't say anything.
Yeah.
There's
because it's so loud. Usually you can hear that group coming because they're like you hear them all the way down the hall or whatever, right? Yeah. And it's just, oh my gosh.
So
it's just amazing.
It's insane how quiet it is when you see this game played with the silent variant.
Yeah.
It could be going on behind you and you wouldn't even know it's happening. That's how quiet it is.
That's crazy.
You've seen them do the quiet version, right? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I was like, at first when you said something about that, I thought they still move and run around. That's cool.
They do, but they don't say anything.
Yeah.
They just walk to the other person's position.
That's so weird. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know if I can handle playing it that way. I'd be laughing my head off.
Silent version Happy Salmon.
That's right.
All right, let's move on.
Number 8.
All right. My number 8.
Make sure I push the right button this time.
Yeah. Okay, again, this is kind of along the lines.
All the Euros. That's hilarious.
I did do a bunch.
That's hilarious.
But think about it. This is another one of those games where it's family-friendly game. There's no weird exceptions. If you're playing the basic game, I don't know about the other maps and stuff, but the basic and the 10th anniversary game, there's nothing weird and funky that you can do that's going to require any explaining. And you do your thing, you grab your cards or you lay out the tracks, very straightforward. You can even count quietly and pick, the longest road and put down your goals, all that stuff. You can do it all silently. Just saying.
The only thing I would see is two things, is that everything would have to be within your reach, because you couldn't ask for anyone to do anything for you. And two, the in-game scoring would have to be kind of difficult to do. Maybe. I don't know, but yeah, that's a good one. And Nathan asked how many rolls it take to get that 8. I got it on the second roll. And what's the magic of editing is I was just planning to roll, just keep rolling it, and then I edit out the one little piece that I need, but I rolled it twice. First time I rolled a 20 and then I rolled an 8.
8.
So I only took 2 rolls.
That's funny.
All right, my number 8. Let's find out what it is because I have no clue.
Trains are loud.
My number 8
Y'all are great.
is Welcome to the Dungeon.
Oh, totally.
And what's funny is
play.
we actually play this very quietly.
We do. It's so weird.
When we play it anyway, it's super quiet.
I don't know why.
We're just like, it's like, I guess it's so intense that you're like, you look
It's
at the
true.
card.
We do
put
make it
down.
way more intense than it should.
We don't make us, other than smack talk when people die, but other than that,
Yeah.
it is super quiet. Super
We
quiet.
do. You're right.
It's just, it's interesting that when we play this, you would think there'd be lots of laughing, but we're just like, look at the card, put it down. I mean, it's really very quiet how we play this
You're
game.
right. I didn't even think about that. You're totally right. We've always played it quietly.
Yeah, other than when the person dies in the dungeon, everyone laughs at them. That's about the only time we make any sound when we play. Because it's really intense.
Yeah, you have all these different cards, and you start with a hero, and you can pick. There's a warrior and a rogue, and like a magician, and some other stuff. And there's a bunch of different monsters that are in this dungeon, right? So you've got your guy, and he's all decked out with all of his gear and everything. And each of the different types of gear defeats different types of monsters. And so you're going in and you're drawing a card and you get this monster. And you have to decide right then and there, am I going to keep this monster and secretly put it into the dungeon? Or do I want to take it out and give him maybe potentially a better chance of victory? Or are you going to mess with somebody and try to kill them, make them harder?
And they don't know that,
But
right?
if you pull the monster out of the dungeon, you have to take a piece of equipment off of the hero to compensate for that. So you're taking off these wackadoodle things, and it might be the very piece of equipment that defeats that monster. You know, you could be completely trying to kill the other person, or maybe you're trying to mentally mess with them.
Right.
And you just want to play a memory
Very
game
much
and remember.
press your luck.
Yeah, it's totally press your luck. It's ridiculous. You always somehow psych me out on that one. I don't know why. I'm like, hey, I totally got you, and you're like, meh, I got
Good
this.
morning,
whatever.
Zachy. It's like probably what? How late is it there?
Oh dear, Zachy.
Let's see, it's what, 1
Zachy
or 2 in
means
the morning?
insomniac.
1 or 2 in the morning?
I
something like
salute
that?
you, fellow insomniac.
Yeah, Zachy said silent games, every Euro game ever.
See?
Pretty much what she's doing is all Euro games.
It's like you know me. Okay, there you go.
All right, so what's your number? What are we
4
on?
a.m. Oh dear.
What number are we on?
We're still on your
We're moving to 7,
dungeon.
right?
Yes.
Moving to 7.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Number 7. Oddly enough, we have played this fairly quietly. Push the button. Ta-da! Ink and Gold. What's the other name for it?
Diamant.
Diamant. I always forget the name of it. We have the Ink and Gold. The more recent one is
Older
called
version is Ink and Gold. The
new version's Diamant. And Diamant is just this another funny press your luck kind of game. And I have played this mostly silently before. I think everybody was just tired.
Yeah. Other than smack talk, that's the only thing.
That's usually what happens with this. I usually am teaching this to a whole new group of people. So usually I'm talking through it the whole time and everybody else is fairly quiet now that I think about it, unless everyone's just really hyped up.
And your vote to go deeper in the dungeon or not is a
It's always
silent-
really silent, tense moment as everyone flips a card over because whoever leaves, they all have to split the loot together. So it's always a really quiet moment anyway. So this one's not too hard to flip over to a quiet one, which is funny because this is almost party game level, honestly, a party game, press your luck game. It's just really fun. But it has some moments with some real tenseness because you're like, okay, is it going to cave in? If you have 2 of the same type of bad thing happen in the cave, you're done. You're dead. So they have like snakes and mummy things, zombie things, and a cave in and all this stuff. And you're looking for that second card to come up, you know? And you're always like, okay, I can go a little bit farther. I don't know. It's weird because usually everybody's chit-chatting and acting, but we had some where,
quiet.
where it can get really quiet.
I agree 100%. You could play this game 100%.
It'd be really easy.
silent.
There's no communication really. You flip a card over to communicate all of your stuff. To be official, you have to flip the card over. So it doesn't take any speaking.
Good one. Let's see what my 7 is. It's probably better than that one. No, I don't know. I
What?
doubt this.
What?
Inky Gold's a good one. All right, what's my 7? Let's
Okay.
see.
Okay.
Doubt Force. All you do is play a card and move cards.
That's true. We mostly just smack talk during that game.
That's all you do is flip
All
on
we
the
do
card
is
and
smack
move the
talk.
cards.
Oh, I mean, all we do.
That's all you. I mean,
That's
required.
true.
It's zero speech. There is no speech required in this game.
Yeah.
The only thing that might use a little speech potentially is if you use your superpower, but just take it and put it in front of you
Yeah.
to show that you're using it, and you wouldn't have to say anything.
It's true.
Yeah, all you do is flip a
That's
card and
true.
move cards until you win, and then there's a voting.
Yeah.
There's a midway you do like a you do a prediction on who you think's going to win, but it's all you do is write on a pad of paper.
Yeah, it's on your own individual
Right.
pads too, so you wouldn't even.
But we do smack talking.
Oh, man, I was
That's
like-
any board game though. You can.
Yeah, in this household, you just
see
gotta
that-
be
you
expecting.
see,
it.
if you decide whether to vote for a silent game, whether smack talk occurs or not, then I would have 0 silent games.
It's true.
Even games where you're not supposed to talk, we still smack talk.
Yeah, because it's not part of the speaking about the game, so therefore, if nothing else, there's always, even if you're not allowed to talk, there would be a hee hee or something, right? The sound effect at some point. That's
All
a
right.
good one. That's a good one.
Move on.
I
Number
like
6.
it.
Number
Okay.
6.
Number 6.
This is another one that we played really recently. And oddly enough, it's another one that most of the time, if people are talking, it's smack talk. It's not about the game. Which one?
You're supposed to say, my number 6 is blah. And then
No, don't tell me what to do. Push my button.
I pushed your
Push
button.
that button.
I pushed
Push
your
my
button. I
buttons.
pushed your
But I have a
button.
technical difficulty button. Push my button.
It's on there.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
What's going on right now? The switching order is not working. I'm vetoing this choice.
I was not told beforehand of the changes
I
involved.
need to do the voting and see who goes first.
I like it. So for sale, this is one of those games where, again, it's all about just placing down your bids and you do your thing and you go. I mean, you don't need to talk. I mean, the only time we talk is usually, and making fun of people.
Smack talk. Again.
It's all the
the
smack
game
talk.
itself requires no talking.
It's true. And this is another one that is a party kind of game, which it's funny because I didn't think I'd see very many party-esque games that would be quiet, unless you're talking like charades. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't call this a party game.
It's pretty close.
Party games are like
It's a gamery party.
what I
party
consider
game.
party games are very interactive, talking things going on.
Okay,
That's what I
if you're
consider
putting
party
that in,
games.
this has a party feel to me because it's very silly and
It's more of
quick
a
and
filler
light
game.
and
I
like.
would consider it a filler game more than a party game. That's me.
Semantics.
Some people just say big group games are party games, but I don't feel that way.
That's true. I can see it either direction. That's true. I feel like we're discussing more of the genre of our games than we are the.
Well, it's silent. I mean, this
But no, this one you
one
totally play
can be
silent.
100% played without a single sound made.
You could. It'd be boring though. I like to talk smack. It's
And you laugh at
much
people
more
when
fun.
they get
It's
a crappy
more fun.
property for-
Oh, it's fantastic. That's the best part. Because again, it's a fun. It is a filler for sure. Whether or not you determine it's kind of party-esque or not, but it's just fun, quick. It's got two phases to the game. You go in and bid on the houses first, right? You bid on the houses first, and then you do the how much money you sell them for, right?
Sell the houses.
Sell the houses back.
You buy the houses and sell.
Then sell the houses. Yeah, I want to make sure I didn't do it backwards. And so you're just throwing down the card, and you're trying to be the best. Like last time we played a 3-player, so you want to be the best out of the 3
Right.
to get the best card, and then
That and spend your money efficiently.
yeah, because
Like if there's two
there's no
cards that are
change
close,
given.
If there's two cards that are close in value, you might be shooting for second place. 'Cause
Yeah.
the first place one isn't.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
depends on how the distribution of stuff that comes out. Mm-hmm. If there's two really good ones and a really bad one,
totally.
You don't want to be last place, right?
Yep, totally.
All right, my number 6. I got a cheat coming up. I don't know where it's coming up. It may
Oh,
be
I
this
can't
one.
wait.
This
I can't
one-
wait. A cheat.
I think
Get
this-
ready.
I
Get
think
ready,
this is a
chat.
cheat.
Get him, chat.
Awkward guess. Can you guess why I consider it a cheat? But
Well, because you're not really talking about the game anyway, because you'd be revealing stuff, right? So
the cheat is that you do the auction, the trading phase. You have to let people know how much points you're trading, but you can just show a number.
show your number because
Yeah.
it's going to be what 5, I think, is the max. It's not much.
I don't know what the max is.
I'm trying to remember. It wasn't
But
a
you
high
just have
number.
to say
You can do it on 2
how
hands.
many you're trading. Like
Yeah.
2, I'm trading 2 points, and then everyone bids and you can decide whether to take them or not. That's the only vocalization in the entire game that I could think of is saying how much points worth of cards you're trading. That's the only vocalization I saw. But anyways, Awkward Guess, if you don't know, it's like a gamery version of Clue.
It's an awesome version of Clue.
Very much more logic involved. It's almost scenario based. It's almost a randomized scenario, but it's scenario based, and it's so and so was with so and so they couldn't have been over here, and this weapon was in this room, so it couldn't be the murder weapon. It's all this logic. It's like Clue, but made into a logic puzzle. So I know Clue's more deduction. This is more it's like deduction and logic kind of combined together. So it's
so good. It's so good.
So I cheated a little bit with the bidding part, but you literally could just do a die and flip it to the number that you're
just show your hand.
Yeah,
I want to say it was a really low number. At the most, it would take 2
5
hands.
or 6 points.
Yeah, it was 5 or 6 points. So you just show people, and then you do the combination.
So that's it. So that's kind of a cheat.
Well, how would you reveal who it is at the end?
You just give a thumbs up, then a thumbs down.
That you got it right? Yeah.
I mean,
that's kind of lame, though. You wouldn't even get to celebrate. You're just like...
everybody goes...
Oh, man.
But like I said, games are back of smack talking when you win and lose, right? All right, let's move on. I'm not used to moving on after mine. This is strange. I'll get used to it.
Number 5.
Number 5. I got to thinking about this one. This is another one of your, as you said, Euro-y games, and this is pretty abstract as well, and that's Azul.
This is one of the ones of my abstracts I took off my list.
This is one of those games that, I mean, you don't, if you're talking while you're playing this game, it's probably just because you're chatting. It's not
Smack
like,
talking.
Yeah, or smack talking in our case. It's not like, okay, now, in case you're wondering, I grabbed this one. No one calls out what they're doing in that game. I mean, me who typically does stuff doesn't even walk through it. I mean, you just grab your stuff and do your thing and put it over there and move on to the next person, and everybody can cycle through and you're all chatting while you're doing this, right? It's one of those games, you could probably do it. I just thought about the base Azul, the first one, but really you could do it, I think, with the others as well. It's been a while since I've played Summer Pavilion.
No, they're all the same.
But they're all pretty similar in that regard, I think, right? There's nothing weird exceptions-wise, so...
So this is one of the abstracts I axed off my list. So I got
Okay.
like I said, my list was almost all
Okay.
abstracts, and I axed a bunch of them. I gave this a penalty because the tiles are so loud. When you're digging through the bag and putting them out, it makes so much noise that I axed it because of that.
So is this the games to play silently or games to play in a library? Because it sounds like to you were like...
So I added that caveat in to narrow to eliminate some games. So any abstract game that has a lot of tiles clinking and noise, I got rid of those.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because it doesn't say games to play without communication. It's games to play silently.
Okay, I got you. You took this very literally.
I took it very literally.
You
yes.
did. You did. Oh, I saw earlier, I think it was Cora Lou was asking about Awkward Guests Solo. I may try that next week, actually.
I'm sure it works just fine.
I would think it'd be awesome.
There's just certain rules on how you get your clues, and if you run out, I think if the deck runs out, you lose, something like that.
Yeah.
If you don't solve it before the deck
some...
runs out, you lose. I think it's.
Right.
I'm sure it works just fine. I just don't play silence. I don't play solo games. So
Right, Zachy says, when I play games, no game is
I
silent.
know. I'm not quiet at any game. I'll smack talking chess.
That's true, you would. I would love to say I'm a silent little lamb, but I'm not.
Right.
So.
Wait.
Azul.
Wait, I keep forgetting.
It's your turn.
I know. Hold on.
Oh, would you push the wrong thing?
I did.
Ah,
There you go. Number 5. Let's do number 5. I have
difficulties.
another cheat coming up that has the same thing going on.
difficulties.
Patchwork. So this is one of my abstracts that survived.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, there probably is a little noise setting up the game, but once the game's set up, you're not going to make
Well,
it.
yeah, if you slam the pieces down, maybe. I don't know when you do it. Is this the ASMR or whatever version of a top 10? I don't know. I don't think so.
So anyway, this is another abstract that, like I said, I had like 8 and I narrowed it down to like 4.
Yeah.
And this is one of the ones that made the cut because this one's super quiet. In fact, it's one of those games, kind of like the one I mentioned earlier. I don't remember what it was, that lends itself to being, if you want to quiet, chill evening, this is the kind of game you play because it's just,
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's
take
great
a
for that.
tile, move along the little track. Next person
Take a
takes
towel,
a
move
towel.
along.
I
move
mean,
along.
it's super quiet, super chill.
Yep.
And it's not really a smack talker either. This one doesn't lend itself to smack talking. It's like, oh, look at that, your board sucks.
I disagree, sir, because I know that we have sniped each other's pieces before and said a few choice words to each other.
That's true.
So I therefore
And the first to get
conclude
the 7x7 grid usually talks a little smack when they get the 7x7 bonus.
a lot of smack.
Or I think
But
it's
yes.
7x7 bonus, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We haven't
Oh.
played this in a while.
Yeah, but yes to all those things.
There it is.
So
Patchwork.
yeah,
It's a great,
Yeah.
awesome 2-player abstract game.
it's true.
Number 4.
Number 4.
She sounds like me. All right, this one I know because we've played this one silently.
Have we?
Yes, we have. Biblios.
Oh, nope. You think it's quiet because the first half of the game is super quiet, but the second half you have to do bidding back and forth. You can do the finger thing, yes,
The finger thing.
but you're doing that a lot. The whole second half of the game is bidding. It's 1,
Yeah,
2, 3,
yeah.
4. I'll take the card.
Yeah. I just think it would be amusing to
So
play.
I'll give you half.
No,
half-
full credit because
half credit on this.
this one would be amazing to play silent. You know why? Because increasingly we'd be getting in more and more into each other's face. It'd start out friendly, we're like this, and pretty soon we'd be like,
Yeah, and I would say, get your hand out of my face, and the
no, you
silent
wouldn't. You would
be
do
over.
that, and then you'd try to stick your
Silent-
finger in my
silent would
nose
be
or something,
over.
and yeah, it'd be. Okay, it turns into a brawl, but it'd be
Half
a silent
credit.
brawl.
I'm giving you half credit.
No, I get full credit for
Half
this. This would be
credit.
amazing.
The first half of
silent.
this game is insanely quiet.
Oh, totally, because you're just like
insanely
the
quiet.
first half of the game. You split up the deck basically. You have to choose. You take turns, and if you're playing 2-player, I give one to him. I give one to the pot basically, and one to me, and I get to choose who gets what. But each one of them gets 3. So if I give the 2 away, the last one, no matter what that card is going to be mine. So that can be exciting.
Yeah, pressure luck, split,
Very much a
splitting.
pressure luck thing, right? Hopefully you gave them the crummy cards and you get the good card, right?
And the second half is auctioning, where you have to say.
But the second half of it would be auctioning, and I just think that'd be amazing.
You could do it, but
You could totally do it.
It would be tough.
You totally do it.
It'd be
You totally
tough.
do it. You have this good start already with a silent first half. See? Exactly.
Yeah.
Corley, you
Someone
get it.
mentioned the Magic Maze. I haven't ever played Magic Maze, but every time I heard anyone describe Magic Maze, is you take your little pawn and you bang it on the table to get people's attention. So I don't think it would be that silent. You're not supposed to talk, but it doesn't sound like a silent game to me.
I could
Every
hear
person
already.
I said has described that game has said they bang their pawn on the table to get people's attention.
I know you do too. Eventually one of us would go, ow! Because somebody's not paying enough attention, and then there would be a smack.
Everyone that's described that game to me says they get frustrated and start pounding their pawn on the table.
Oh, man.
So I don't think it would be that quiet.
That'd be amazing.
All right, we got my number 4. Let's find out what it is.
What is it?
I don't know. Let's find out. Onitama.
Oh, totally. But, it's so hard not to smack talk in that game. It's so
we don't
hard.
smack talk that much in that game. Maybe she's
Were
playing
you
a game with someone
delusional?
else.
Were you
There's
delusional?
another abstract. How many abstracts did I end up with?
A lot.
I know, a lot.
It's interesting.
Soro,
They kind of do lend themselves to that.
Onitama. What else did I do?
My sound is distorting again.
We just need to get new mics. These are crappy mics. That's next on the list.
Next update.
I don't know how many abstracts I did. But
You have a lot of abstracts.
This is another abstract. It's a chess variant with a really small 5x5 board. That's funny. The new expansion, they're coming out with a new expansion on it, and it actually has a sideboard or something going on. So
What?
Yeah. Basically, you move it. No, it's ninjas. Basically, what you have ninjas, and the way it works. I'm going off topic, but yeah, this is abstract game. All abstract games can be quiet. But there's little ninjas, and you have a screen, and you're moving a ninja around secretly, and he can just strike. And the other team has lights so they can that look and see to spot where the ninja is.
What?
Yes.
Just happened
It's
to
like
Onitama?
Darkness and Light, I think is the name of the expansion or something like that. So yeah.
Can we play it with people too? Like live? That'd be hilarious.
That would
People
be
as the
pretty fun.
pawns.
That'd be
How
pretty fun.
hilarious would that be?
We played Onitama Live before.
No. I mean, like, use people as the pawns. you actually have a flashlight.
Yeah,
You have
but
little
how would you
ninjas.
represent where they are? You have to have a big giant screen to block a person
Be
off.
so cool.
Yeah, good
Yes.
luck on building that.
I would love that. That'd be amazing. Now, playing it live would be funny with ninjas.
Let's move on.
It's amazing.
Onitama. New expansion coming out. Bye. 3.
Number 3.
Okay, go ahead and pop it up because you already mentioned it. We have a
Soro.
crossover. No, it's Shuro.
No, it's not
It's
Shuro.
Shuro.
No, it's Suro.
No, it's Soro if you play it normally, but if you're playing the silent version,
And if you're from where I'm from, it's Tesoro.
oh goodness, dang Texans. Okay, so
Let's play some of them Tesoro.
oh gosh, you gonna eat a quesadilla with that? Oh man, can't tell. Okay, anyway, so for all he said, this is a pretty chill little game, and
It lends itself to being quiet.
it lends itself
Other
to
than
being
laughing
quiet.
at people when they screw up, but other than that.
We've already discussed the smack talk element of every game in depth. I would like to say that we're a bit of smack talk experts at this point. I think we can safely claim to be experts in the smack talk. I'm just saying. But
For
it
the
really
mic
is.
climb, thanks, Zeros.
Zeus, your doll. Love you.
Yeah, we got to get, these are old mics. We need to get new mics.
Yep. That's the next
thing.
Next thing. But yeah, this, it's just, I don't know. We play it pretty quietly most of the time, with the exception of the smack talk.
Especially early on when you're just laying
When you're just laying the pieces and it doesn't
it's
matter.
when you start
They're all
getting
far away.
When you get close together, that's when the smack talk starts happening.
And it's a beautiful thing.
All right,
And laugh at people. Yes, Zachy, absolutely.
move on to my number 3. It's another silent variant. You know what game I'm talking about? Silent variant.
Oh no. Yes, I know.
What?
I don't want to spoil it.
Spoil it.
Pit.
Pit.
Stole my thunder, dude.
Pit, the silent variant. So yeah, this is another one that's very stark if you play it silently.
But it's very violent looking, okay? Because this one is in your face.
So Pit
And
has
you
2 ways to
still-
play. There's the screaming, yelling auction version, but there's also, you just hold up fingers to show, I don't know which one I'm doing that's bad. I'll do
This
3.
one's okay.
Whichever one.
This one's okay.
Just go. Anyway, so you show up. No, you just hold up fingers for how many cards you're trading. And you
Yes.
you just show people, but it ends up being
That's exactly what it would be. You have your cards in your hand, and then you're like violent in their face for the other part. I mean, it's just, it'd be.
yeah. So you basically hold up fingers for how many
We
cards
tried.
you're trading, and you just do it that way. It actually works fine.
It does, but
it's
we
not
just.
fun.
Oh, it's fun. But
And,
it turns.
and you don't use the bell in the middle. When you get your set, you just lay your cards down. When you get your set, you don't
Yeah,
use the bell.
and which one in our group is gonna lay their cards down? Give me a break. There's a reason our cards are all bent.
I played the
okay?
version one time, and that was
That was it because it
I
didn't
can
even
say-
last the whole round.
I can see people playing that version though.
Oh, yeah.
I want to yell and scream.
Well, especially if you've got some wallflowers and you want to encourage them to play, this would be the best variant to play.
because it ends up being who's the loudest gets the most attention, right?
No, not always, because you were like hopping up and down screaming one time, and you were
Yeah,
just on the other end.
loudest.
But you were on the other end of the table, so I wasn't able to like trade with you as much. It just it's funny though.
But yeah, there is a silent version. It gives you rules for how to play. It's similar to, like I said, for Awkward Guess. You just show how many you want to trade, and you trade
Yeah.
that many.
Yep.
Other than screaming 2, you just scream 2 by using your fingers.
I mean, it is. Yeah, you're screaming too. It's, oh man, it's yeah.
Apparently, I stole your thunder, so your princess higher up on your list.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Number 2.
But today is not that day. So this is
Number 1, wow.
Shush! Don't shush, man. What's wrong with you?
Oh,
So
sorry.
my number 2 is
Splendor. Oh my god.
Hunter's favorite. Whose turn is it game?
See, this would never make my
Because-
list. This would never make
it would
my
always make your list because we never talk,
No,
about the
all
game.
you do is talk the entire anyway.
but not about the game.
I'll let you have your
not
piece.
about the game.
I'll let you have
I
your
have-
piece.
I know
and
you're
I'll-
stunned to hear
and I
this,
will-
but I have played a very quiet.
I have a valid reason why this should make the list besides the yakking and whose turn is it. So go ahead.
No, I want to hear your valid reason.
All right,
now,
so
because
first off, it's I can't be silent because I have to say whose turn is it. How do I?
You should be paying attention to the game. So
No, I'm asking because someone's not taking a turn.
Well, you're playing it silently. I guarantee everybody's paying attention to whose turn it is.
But my real beef with this is the clicking of the poker chips.
Oh, no, see, according to my guidelines.
Click.
Okay, maybe your guidelines.
I feel like I'm in a poker room at a casino.
Okay, that's your version of silent. My silent was just not vocalizing.
talking?
Yeah, so.
Because everybody's
Mine's
clicking
fine.
those chips. They just scream, click
Yeah.
me, make noise with me.
Yeah, that's fine. In my top 10, that doesn't matter. I didn't even put
But there's
sounds.
never been a minute of Splendor that didn't have someone talking in my life.
Why do I even? I'm going to stop putting this in any top 10s because Mr. Rant over here is like, imagine this.
You kind of did the Abner voice.
I kind of did a little bit.
What's my number 2? I don't even know what it is. Let's find out.
But it's easy to do this with this game before you jump ahead because this one doesn't have any weird.
all you're doing is taking cards
some of the
and
weird.
paying for them.
I'm
and
talking the
taking
base game, not the expansions, the weird expansions, but
Yeah,
the
just
base game.
Yeah, it's very much Ticket to Ride. You either take
You do your
chips or
thing
you
or
take
you-
or pay for cards.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very similar.
Yeah,
What is my number 2?
Corlu's totally on my side.
Oh, my number 2 is a crossover.
Is it?
What do you think it is?
I'm not Biblios. You gave me too much smack because
No.
if you put Biblios, I'm stabbing you with this pen. I was just
That would be hilarious. I wish I could change it real quick.
Ray Colt.
Nope, I wouldn't give it Ray Colt.
I don't know what.
Ink and Gold.
Oh yeah, of course.
Ink and Gold is, you can play that. This is probably one of the most able to be silent games ever. You literally,
And you know what? It adds tension when you do it
you
that way. too.
just flip over a card and then everyone votes with their card and you show whether you're going or not, and then you flip over another card and then eventually everyone dies or leaves the dungeon.
Right.
You move on to the next round. This does not, even the scoring at the end, you just take your little, in our version, you have little tents that you lift up and you just look at who has the most
Gems.
and that's the winner.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to say a word in this game. But the smack talk flies in this game like crazy.
Especially when everybody bails, and there's
One person.
usually Hunter.
Oh man,
He's like,
I'm
I'm gonna get all the treasure now, suckers. You know, and it's
And
just,
Ink and Gold, either I
it's
get
funny.
dead last or I get like 100 gems. There's no
in between.
There's no in between.
It's so
for
true.
me. Actually, I did a live.
very
We
predictable,
played
yes.
it live, and I did 14 or 15 cards when we did it live.
That was
and
awesome.
survived.
Yeah, we've had some good ones.
So yeah, this was the very first one I thought
Super
of.
chat series.
This is the very first one I thought of when we started to make this list, and then I
Right.
built around this one.
Now they want to pay for a live stabbing.
Live stabbing.
You guys are bloodthirsty.
All right, we're on to the good stuff. Although Rebecca's spoiled herself. What are you doing, spoiling your number 1?
Number 1.
Totally stole my thunder on this because the silent variation of this, we've never successfully pulled off an entire game of it. That's why this was
we get
semi a
frustrated
joke.
with the quiet version because we want to scream at each other.
We do, like, it's pretty amazing.
But I can actually see a lot of families sitting around playing kind of casually.
Yeah, here's the thing, this game-
I don't think we play this game. I think if you took like 10 families and watched how they played the game,
We're probably the wildest
we
by
would
far.
not be anywhere near how they
We
played the
dive
game.
over the table. I inherited that. My parents even play it that way.
Yeah,
so I'm
we
like,
full on tackle people.
yeah. So ours is like full contact pit or one step before that, typically. So, yeah, most people actually can sit around a table and play this. We can't even sit while we're playing this game. We all stand to play pit. There is no one sitting. If they do, they probably get crushed by
Yeah,
a
we have to
mob.
stand it because a lot of times if someone's not trading with me, I'll actually get up and physically go over by them.
That's the thing, because
Just
too, with a
start
big
trading.
table, you can't reach, right?
Right.
And so you're right. Like, I would almost never trade with you
You end up
because we're sitting
siphoning the
across
same
the table.
cards through your half of the table, and you're losing.
You're
if
losing
the
that
card is on the other
opportunity.
half of the table.
Yep.
You're never going to see it.
So
right?
you do need to interact with everybody, and
Right.
yeah, it's greatness. So of course we're very interactive when we move around. There's none of this polite.
I bet
you
I want
pass
to see
this to
someone.
so-and-so?
Do you guys play pit? Do you play it like politely, like nice and quiet and polite?
Politely. Are you barbarians like us?
Are you crazy?
This, yeah, yeah. See, Tommy says that they never played it quietly. Yeah. See, okay, well, it's good to know. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess it
maybe not.
depends. I know there's some groups that would play it more.
I want to see a bunch of older people sitting around the table playing it
I
quietly.
don't even know any older people that would play this common.
I am older people, I guess.
You are older people.
Moving on. My number one, we played this recently, and it was so funny how quiet it was. We were laughing, but that's not part of the game, as you say. We laughed and laughed and laughed at how of us being silent.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Speechless.
Oh, okay. Now I purposely cut out games that require you to be quiet. I purposely did not.
No.
I purposely did not put those on the game.
No,
Yeah.
Speechless. That's a full-on party game.
That was hilarious. We were crying. We were laughing.
So this is basically charades where you don't actually scream out guesses. You actually write your guesses down on a paper and then you score them at the end of the round. It was so much fun. Now, truth be told, we were laughing our head off, so I don't know how quiet the game is.
We could probably control ourselves and not laugh, but it'd be hard.
So basically, it's charades with people writing their guesses down instead of screaming them out. So effectively, the person giving the clues is quiet, and the people writing their clues down are quiet.
I wonder if we could play that live.
We could easily play it
We
live.
may have to do that sometime so you guys can see this, because it's
the only problem is if
quite
people are
amazing.
guessing in the chat, they're going to see each other's guesses. But I guess it'd be fun.
What
to
we
guess
could we could set up some baseline rules about when people can put their responses
Well,
in
they
and
can
stuff.
just
and
see if they can guess all of them
Yeah.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
Yeah, so basically, you're given this list. The person who's giving clues is given a list of 6 simple words like trampoline, umbrella, dog,
and then running or something like that. It has action things too. Remember?
yeah. And the person giving the clues cannot speak, just like charades, and then they can't do the whole 2 words, blah blah, because it's all just one word. So basically, they have to act out whatever it is, and some of them are just ideas.
Oh yeah, and they're abstracted things, and they're difficult.
Everyone
It's-
writes down their
crazy.
answers, and then you, depending on how many you get right, you get
Yeah.
points. But if you get it wrong and you match another person in the guessers, because everyone guesses, there's not teams in this game. If you match one of the other guesses, you still get some credit for getting it wrong because you guys agreed that whatever they were doing seemed like what you guessed, right? And then the person giving the clues whoever gets the best score of all the right. Whoever
Gets to share the best
whichever
score.
person guessed the best, they get that same score because there's some benefit for giving good clues, right?
Yeah, it's very cool.
It was hilarious though.
Yep.
It was, but you have to be just like charades. You kind of have to be outgoing to do this because this is even more so than charades. Because charades,
Yeah.
a lot of times it's movie titles and things like that. This is like
You got to make sure it's very clear because you only have a certain amount of time to get your point
Right.
across. So you got to be
one of
very.
them, like it'll have sprinting. So it has
Gaming Wife had one that was like a mummy or something crazy,
Yeah,
remember?
yeah.
Or something she had to come out of
Mummy.
a coffin or
Yeah.
something. She did, I forget. It was wild. Yeah, some of the stuff is kind of in depth. How do you get that across to
And
somebody?
you have like a minute, and you have to
And not
divide
make it
your
look like a
time
zombie,
among
right?
all these different clues. So if you spend
Yeah.
too much time on one, you may not get
Yep.
to the last one.
Yep.
It's a really cool little party game. It's hilarious. We were laughing our heads off. It probably plays better. We only played it 3-player. It probably plays better with like
Oh, it's
5, 6,
I
7,
guarantee
8.
that's a more the merrier kind of game.
It's a game that you want to have a lot of people because you're gonna have a lot more wrong guesses matching up if
Right.
you have more people, right?
See, and I purposely, I mean, depending on how you wanted to approach this list, this is the ideal kind of game for this list, or it's not. Like, I excluded it because I decided to go with possibilities, but like telestrations and technically
Telestrations.
poker you shouldn't be talking much, right?
Telestrations. That's a great one.
Like, there's
but,
things
but, then
that-
you have to read the clues off after the end of each round, right?
Well, you could, or you could just do a little slideshow.
could,
I mean,
you could,
there's
you could.
there's things you could do. There's a lot of games like that you have to be quiet. I mean, technically, don't you with the mind even? You're not supposed to talk.
I looked up some lists after I made my list. I looked up some lists to see what other people were.
'Cause we
putting.
have a
The
couple
mine was
here
a
and
very
there.
popular one that's quiet.
Again, though, I don't know. I thought it was more fun to
Then
explore
you can do all
what ones
kinds of
you
games. You can
could.
do Uno, Crazy Eights,
Yeah.
almost any generic card, spades,
Yeah, see, and that's
rummy. You can do any.
that's what I was saying. Like poker.
Any of those generic card games.
Well,
now,
and-
poker. There's talking in poker. There's
No, I see him hit.
There's mind games.
Stay.
That's blackjack.
Don't you do? They tap
Yeah.
the table. I was watching World
They
Series of
do
Poker with you.
occasionally, but there's a lot. There's a lot of
Whatever.
talking in poker. There's a lot of mind
Nah.
games that go on in poker.
Well, yeah, there's mind games, but you
But
can
yeah,
play
you can
quiet.
you can play quietly. Yes.
See, don't even try to. Don't even.
There you go. There is our top 10 silent games, the troll list from our viewers.
Yeah. So how do you guys define the games to play silently? Which one? Which And did you feel more like
perfectly
leaning
quiet, no
towards
talking?
no sound at all? Like,
Does it not lend itself to noise?
was it part of the game originally, or just you could play it that way? I had some short list. I had a ton of short lists.
Oh yeah,
Tumbling dice.
30 games. I took that one. That's one I.
Well, the dice for you would be loud,
That
but
game
for
is
me,
loud.
you don't need to talk because it's
No,
all mathematical
no.
scoring.
But I took all the flicking games off. I had Flick 'em Up and Pitch Car and Ice Cool and
Mm-hmm.
Loop and Chewy and.
Yeah, the girls were talking to me about Flick 'em Up and like Cultic
I guess
Express
all
and like.
because of the sound of the flick.
That's funny.
I tried to make it quiet. I took some games off that had a lot of dice rolling.
Yeah.
That could play silently, but I took those off because I really had to narrow my list. I had to put all kinds of restrictions on it.
Yep. Looks like they were kind of leaning my direction and just no talking, right? I can't shut up, so no game ever is hacky.
We could blast through.
Right.
We can blast through our short list. So I had Flick 'em Up, Tic Tac Toe, Drone Home, Coffee Roaster, Pitch Car,
The
Ice
girls
Cool,
were trying to tell me to put Drone Home on.
Looping Chewy, Way Kick, Gobble It, which is an abstract game.
Yep.
The Duke, Chess, Calico, Rome, Push, Onirim, which I had a couple of trolls. I put T's for trolls.
I was gonna say because Onirim's a solitaire game too.
That's
Come on.
the funny. I was a troll. I had Tic Tac Toe and Coffee Roaster and
all these solitaires. Friday.
Rock, paper, scissors, and but I did like Animal and Animal, but there's the whole crashing of the pieces at some point. Mustache Smash is silent, but you're banging.
That is such a loud game if you go for noise.
On the table. Escape is silent, but you have dice rolling and the video.
The sound effects if you do the audio thing.
What'd you have? You have some interesting.
I don't know if interesting is the word. The girls were like helping me with it, so they were like Dominion and Sushi Go Party.
Silent.
Yeah, but there's a lot of possibly explaining things in combos and stuff if people don't know the game as well. I feel like that one's going to be tougher. And they mentioned Finca. Again, you're trading the components. That's the thing. You're trading components for getting the areas and stuff for Finca. So, I mean, it's another one of those like that. Sushi Go Party, they were talking about Drone Home, and I had a bunch of other stuff like that I didn't even write down because I was like, this list is exploding into this huge thing. And like Coralie says, your audience is the big thing. Because if you're just saying, okay, top 10 games, just no talking, it's a huge list. But if you're doing something like that, you narrowed it down for like, we're in a library, or I think when you said like if somebody's asleep or something,
well, no,
you would play a quiet game.
That's funny that they said that.
Newborns.
That's actually how I judged it for my list is if someone was sitting behind me in the convention, would I know they're playing a game?
Yeah.
That's kind of how
That's true.
strict I was with the silent thing.
Gotcha.
So.
It's true.
All right.
That's pretty interesting.
That's it, folks.
Yeah.
1 week from tonight, the regular shenanigans show, where lots of shenanigans are going on. Maybe the audio will work this time. I won't be doing the Kickstarter segment, even though I fixed it. It's.
Oh man, Saki, you don't like alma mater? Man, you and Julio are naysayers today. Nay, I say. Ooh, man.
Hate on Rebecca Day.
I know. And Nathan Arnak also angers me for winning too many dice tower. I was thinking that too, though. I got to be honest. I was like,
well,
Arnak won
we're going to go off on a
lot.
tangent. So this is the extra portion of the show.
Extra, we always go extra.
We actually vote on the Dice Tower Awards, and here's the issue I see with the Dice Tower Awards, and it's not a big issue, but it's baked into the problem with the game. Is the way the Dice Tower Awards work is that there's a group of about 50 people. Most of them are Dice Tower contributors. There's a handful of other people that are in on that as well. And basically they say, they'll put the categories in a Facebook group, and they basically say categories, 2-player games. Then anyone can nominate any game they want that fits that category and is of the correct year.
Yeah.
And then you have a list usually there's a list of anywhere from 5 to 10 games that are among that list. And then what they do is we go to a survey and we pick our favorites, and that narrows it down. No, actually, that narrows it down to a certain group, of whatever the nominees are, like 5. And then we're given several months to go out and play those games. And we try to play as many as we can, and then you vote on which ones you like. And if you can vote on your top 3 games that you want, you can vote on first, second, third. And there's a scoring system with that. If you vote for fewer games, you're the ones you're voting gets less and less points. So you really want to try to do a top 3. The problem is that invariably the games of those 5 or 10 nominees that get played the most are going to get the most votes.
10 to, yeah.
And they're going to get, they're going to win. So the most played games, in my opinion, the ones that the majority of those 50 people have played are going to win the category.
Unless it's an outlier category like art or something, typically, where you don't have to have played the game to
Even
determine,
then,
but not always.
Even then. So the issue is there's not any way to get all 50 people to play the 30 or 40 games.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Nominated.
It is a lot.
We can't go out, every person can't go out and buy all 40 games or however many different games are nominated.
But we didn't get through all of them, that's for sure.
There's no way
Yeah.
for us to do that. So invariably the ones that are the most popular, the ones that people own the most are going to win. Because like in the strategy game category, I thought there was much better, in my opinion, there's much better strategy games out there. But so few people have played those games that they're not going to get any votes.
Yeah.
So I think when it narrows it down to the 5, that's a great list. But then when we actually vote,
Yeah,
it's almost a popularity contest on who has played
because
the
think
most.
about it, like your Codenames came out. Codenames destroyed
Right,
everybody.
because it's easy to get it played. It was cheap to buy, and almost everyone has played. That's I think that's why. No offense to what's the card, the solitaire game, the Crew. No offense to the Crew.
Oh yeah, I love the Crew.
Everyone in that Facebook group has played the Crew because it's so cheap and so easy to play.
Yeah, it's very accessible.
So it's going to get tons
more
and
accessible.
tons of votes, right?
That's
just
part of it.
That's
Yeah.
just the way the Dice Tower Awards is set up. There's nothing. I mean, in a perfect world, all the people voting would get sent all 40 games and would have the opportunity to play all of them, but that's never going to happen.
Yeah, because there's no like super specialist committee or something like that.
Right.
I mean, he tries to get a really broad base of a lot of people that like to play a lot of different games, and there's just no way for everybody to play everything.
And that's why a lot of the ones that would probably win best production or best artwork are $200 Kickstarter massive miniature games that no one has.
A lot of times, but not always.
I'm
yeah.
saying that those are never going to win because not enough people have played them.
Yeah,
unless they just go out and look at pictures and go, yeah, that's amazing, and they vote for it, right?
But then again, I'd be kind of messed up because that's an uneducated vote, unless it's art. I mean, obviously, but yeah, I mean, you can see why there's a lot to it.
That's why Tom, if you notice, he stresses that the ones nominated are great.
And he's happy with any of them that win.
Any of those winning
because
the most popular game out of that grouping is probably going to win, right?
Yeah, and I kind of with him on that because by the time it gets narrowed down to that, it's usually wow. A lot of times it's hard for me to vote on those categories, especially when I've played all of the games because I'm like, this is tough. Because
it's going through levels of voting, right? It's going through being nominated, good enough to be nominated. Then it's going through the narrowing down to the official nominees. So it's going through 2 cuts before it goes to the winner. Yep. So you're already getting a good set of games. So that's what I do when I look at the. If I was just a consumer being influenced by this, I would look at the nominees. Maybe more so than the winner. I mean, the winner is obviously the one.
The whole group of nominees.
But the group of nominees are usually
they're pretty solid.
The 10 game of the year nominees are all amazing games.
Oh my gosh, yes. That was the hardest thing to vote for, and it is every year, honestly, because of that. Because they're always really amazing. But
tangential.
I was gonna say I know they won a lot, but I don't know. I like them, but
Arnak is one of the most popular. Heavier games from 2020.
Yeah.
It may be the most popular heavy game for 2020. And Board Game Arena helped because a lot of people go out there and play
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
They can go out and those that don't own it could go out and,
very true.
Play it before they voted. So
that's
an influence as well.
Okay, so I saw a couple of things while we were chatting about this too. Somebody was asking what I teach, and I teach high school Latin. I've taught English in the past too, but right now I'm teaching all Latin, and I teach all levels 1 through 4 and AP and IB. So all the Latin for my school.
All the Latin.
All the Latin. All the Latin.
What is it? I'm trying to think the Latin word for everything.
Omnis?
There you go. That's what I was trying to say.
And then somebody was asking about Dominations and if we had played it and if we like it. And I think Tommy already griped into the chat the answer to that because he brought it over and
we played 2/3.
We got to play 2/3 of a game and we ran out of time and he had to leave. And we liked the game so much that Hunter did his little and next thing we know, as soon as it came in, we were like, let's play this. And so we've played it now. 1 2/3 games, or did we play another one? Now I can't remember.
We just played it once.
Okay, so 1 2/3 times now. It is awesome.
Yeah,
this is involved.
It's a very abstract Euro game. I mean, Civ game. It's not, you're not going out and conquering lands and destroying worlds and things like that. But you are doing. It's all about the tech tree and area control on the board.
It's all about that tech. About that tech. Oh.
Oh my
What?
gosh! What?
That was amazing, and you know it. Is it a campaign? No.
No, it's a Civ game. It's a Civ game with area control and technologies. That's the whole game. It's resource management, area control, and technologies. There's very little tacky other than taking people's areas they might want.
Yep.
Very abstract. You're matching up symbols to get your resources.
Yep.
It's an abstract Civ game. I don't know how to describe it other than that.
No, it's a great way to describe it. It's just got some great decisions and stuff with it, and neat combos and stuff that you can build off of it, and
it really focuses.
Yeah, it's got some engine builder to it.
It very much focuses in on the tech tree and the resource management and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, so much
But
fun.
it's very abstract because you're putting little tiles on the board, and how those tiles match up is how much resources you get and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, Civ meets Trinominos.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of is. Kind of is.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yes, Tommy will get to play it, even if you forgot to bring it, because now we have
You know
it
what?
here.
Every time Tommy comes over, we say, hey, what do you want to play? What do you want to play? And he's like, he always picks games he's already played, so I don't know what the deal is with all that. What do you want to play? 500 games. Pick something.
Oh, goodness. That's greatness. Smack talk.
Let's get out of here. Again, 1 week from tonight is our shenanigans show. We'll do some her, and we'll do some what we played and all that good stuff. Some people were asking about the shirts. There is a link down in the description of this video to take you to Geeky Goodies, where our buddy Chris, I can call him my buddy because I think he's my buddy. My buddy Chris does geeky t-shirts, and he has a line of stuff from us. And any money we get from the sale of those shirts is going to the Jack Vassell Memorial Fund, which is also the link is down in the description of this video of that. It's a great cause where they help gamers in their time of need. So we're not looking to make money off of these. I mean, we think it's cool that people.
We just want to have nerdy merch that we can all do dress-alike day at cons now.
Yeah, so we're not doing it for the money. We're doing it just
to nerd out.
Yeah, to nerd out, exactly.
Yes. Yes.
And to raise a little bit of money.
Oh, and there's a really fine, super cool mug in there of 2 different sizes. You can get the little regular size mug or the slightly taller one that fits much more coffee in it. That has our logo on it too, and it's really cool.
And it's got
I have tested it thoroughly.
Women's fit type.
Oh yeah, it's got kiddos.
Kid sizes.
Yeah.
I don't think it has toddler sizes.
Yeah, I think it does.
It doesn't. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it's got all kinds of different colors, and we got a lot of the green ones because I don't know why we end up with a lot of the green ones.
We like green. It's your favorite color, and I like dark green. So yep. And oh my gosh. Oh, I want to get a toddler shirt now. I wonder if it'd fit the dog. How awesome would that be?
Family Showdown shirt.
Yes.
With the snaps in the back, it wouldn't work very well.
Oh no! Just put it upside down.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it. Yeah, it's happening, guys. I'm gonna have to get a toddler shirt.
Lady's gonna get a Family Showdown shirt.
She's gonna. She doesn't care. We'll put it on her in the winter when she's chilly.
All right, we'll see you 1 week from tonight for shenanigans. Shenanigans.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.